Chapter 8: The Feast of Forgetting. The invitation came at dawn. A raven, black-feathered, two-eyed, and wearing a chain of bones around its neck, descended into the hollow trees clearing and croaked one word in a language no one spoke, but everyone understood. Vista. Peter turned as pale as the sky. His voice dropped. The island's calling. Kale spat into the dirt. No one answers that call anymore. But Peter stood. Wendy, watching from the edge of the hollow, folded her arms. What is it? Peter didn't look at her. A ritual, once a year. The island hosts a banquet. If you attend, it gives you what you hunger for most. Wendy blinked. And what's the catch? Peter's expression darkened. You forget something in return. Something small. Not always. That evening, they followed the raven. Across woven bridges made of thorned vines and over glass-like rivers that whispered the names of the dead. The terrain warped the deeper they went, time bending with it. The sun never rose in Neverland, but the horizon behind them glowed with an unnatural blush, while ahead the sky was pitch black and full of roving stars. At the summit of a hill shaped like a spiral shell stood a massive structure made from bone, coral, and living bark. It throbbed faintly, as if breathing. The lost boys flanked Peter in silence. None of them joked, none of them smiled. Wendy walked beside Kale. Why do they go? Because hope dies last, he said. The interior. It was enormous. Long tables stretched into shadows. A canopy of vines and bones hung above, strung with glowing lanterns made from skulls. The feast was already laid out. Fruits that shimmered like gemstones, meats that steamed with magic, pastries that pulsed as if alive. The smell was intoxicating. Peter didn't eat. He sat at the head of the table, unmoving, watching. Kale sat across from Wendy, but avoided the food. Other lost boys indulged. One tore into a peach the size of his head and immediately forgot his name. He laughed, overjoyed. Another girl, lanky, sunken-eyed, barely 18, bit into a silver apple and the scar on her face faded. She wept. Wendy stared at the plate before her, a still-beating heart surrounded by glistening berries. It smelled like memories, like nursery rhymes, like her mother's perfume. I won't eat it, she said. A voice beside her cooed, but you already want to. She turned. A figure in white stood just behind her. Not a lost boy. Not a fae. A memory witch. Her face was featureless, just lips red and smiling. This island takes, darling, the witch whispered. Why not choose what it takes? Wendy stood. Get away from me. The witch didn't follow, just tilted her head. Careful child, you reek of mother love and martyrdom. That scent draws hook like rot draws worms. Peter's chair scraped behind her. He had risen. The witch bowed mockingly. She'll taste sweeter than the first, won't she, Pan? Peter's eyes burned green. The witch evaporated into mist. After the feast, the tables emptied. The lost boys who had eaten stumbled through the exit like drunkards. Some sang, some cried, some stared into nothing. Kale sat with his head down. I didn't eat, he murmured. Peter walked toward Wendy slowly. His gaze was heavy with things unsaid. You passed the test, he said. It was a test, she asked. He nodded. Everything here is. Wendy glanced back at the hall. They gave up pieces of themselves and got comfort in return. She clenched her fists. That's not living. It's surviving, he said, the way some of us have to. Peter turned toward the jungle. There's one more thing you need to see. The pool of unmemory. Peter led her to a hidden grove, circular, lined with statues of screaming children and weeping trees. At its center was a pool that didn't reflect light. This is where the island stores what's taken, Peter said. Wendy approached the edge. Inside, visions. A girl herself, younger, laughing. a woman's hand brushing her hair. A lullaby sung off-key in a familiar voice. Her mother. I've never seen that memory, she whispered. Peter nodded. You were meant to, but the island took it, passed it to the crocodile to feed it. She turned to him, breath catching. Why me? Peter looked away. I don't know yet. But Hook does, she said. Peter's jaw tightened. Yes, he whispered, and that's why he's winning. Far away, the Skull Fortress. Tinker Bell stood in Hook's private chamber, surrounded by ticking clocks and maps made of human skin. Hook watched the pool before him, an enchanted basin of belladonna and blood. Inside it, Wendy at the pool of unmemory. She's stronger than the first, he said. She's not in love with him, Tinker Bell said coldly. Hook grinned. Not yet, but she will be. And when she is, Tink asked. Hook turned to her slowly, his eyes glinting. Then she'll give him everything.